What's going on, everybody? It's Simon Says Crypto, and I'm back with another video for you. Today, I have a very special guest on the show with me. This is Renita. Renita, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Renita and I we met down in Texas, officially at the Bitcoin Benz Texas Founders Group meetup. And we met in October. But the first time I saw that beautiful smile of hers was in July. And I'll tell you what, Renita, when I came to the July event, I was a little surprised that I wasn't like the youngest in the room, but I was definitely in the sitting at the kiddie table to say the least. And it was so actually inspiring and refreshing for me, because I really did think that I was going to be kind of in the, oh, you're a dad. Oh, you're a family man. You can't sit next to us. You're not cool. That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah, in January, that was the way we felt, that we were actually the oldest ones there. And then by July, I had talked to enough people my age and a little older, and they showed up in July. So I didn't feel like we were just the old people there.
Right. Yeah, you got some support. You reached out to the to your generational community, like, hey, I need some support. There's some young whippersnappers down here. They're talking all kinds of madness. I need some help. What do you got? Right. We got to tune them up, keep them in line.
And you remember that question that somebody asked was, where are all the young people?
I know.
July.
Yeah, I do remember that. And honestly, the first thought that came into my mind was money. Really was money. I mean, even for, my generation, we were taught to save, but it's such a challenge to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's almost an extra stress. But it's it's necessary. We need that savings, but it can be so hard to do that, it seems like. So,
right.
But yeah, all the young people they're in debt. And that's not, I laugh, but it's really not a good thing.
Right.
But I have heard of some younger kids. I say kids, they're like in their early 20s, that are getting started in cryptocurrencies, not quite with Bitcoin. They like the meme coins or the cool, whatever's the cool coin of the day. They're kind of in there, but hey, I'm good with it as long as they're participating, right?
Right.
Yeah,
that's what makes the difference.
Yeah. So hey, tell the audience a little bit about yourself before we get going here.
Okay. Well, my husband and I farmed for he farmed for about 42 years. Wow. And then after we got married, I worked with him on that. And we raised a family of 4 children, a daughter and 3 boys. And and they all live close by. So that makes it nice.
That's nice. That's cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much, we've been married for 52 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And we still live on the farm.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. My husband helps, our youngest son farms with his father-in-law and brother-in-law. And so my husband goes and helps them when they need help, and so that he stays busy that way.
That's good. It stays busy. I know what that means. I'm married too. I know exactly what that means when my wife is saying, "Oh, he's staying busy now.
He's out of my hair."
Yeah. God bless the wives that we have, for sure. So, well, thank you. That's great. So my first question here, Renita, is how and when did you first hear about Bitcoin?
Oh, wow. That was quite a while ago. The first time I heard about it, I actually read about it in a financial newsletter.
Okay.
And yeah, they always talk about stocks and stuff in there, but for whatever reason, I've never been really interested in stocks. And so when this word Bitcoin came up, I was like, well, what is that? What kind of stock is that?
Right.
And so I read about it and kind of perked my interest. And so I mentioned to my husband that, maybe we ought to take a look at this. And of course he said, no, we aren't going to do anything like that. And I said, oh, okay. So I left it alone. And I don't know, maybe a year later, that same news letter came out and they were still talking about Bitcoin. So I thought, okay, I'll go check on it. And so then I went on the computer and started checking, and everything that I looked at, it was like, oh my gosh, this is difficult. I'm going to have to memorize all these letters and numbers and everything. And they said, you can't write them down because you don't want anybody else to see them. And I thought, oh my word, my memory
right
doesn't work that way.
Yeah that's your private keys you're giving reference to, right? Yeah.
Right. Well, and I don't know what they were called back then. I think they were just some kind of keys, and you were supposed to be able to trade with the other people in there. And it was like, oh, I don't understand this, so I better stay away from it.
Right.
And then later, about a year or so later, my husband got his hand in a buzzsaw, so he was sitting around here doing nothing and looking at the
now he's in your hair. Now he's in your hair.
Looking at the walls, and all of a sudden he decided he was going to paint the walls. And I said, what? And I had no interest in that whatsoever. Right. Because our walls were wallpapered, and I thought, oh my gosh. So I come into the office when he's doing all that. Right. And picked up another newsletter. Well, no, not the newsletter, but a couple of the guys that I was working with on the internet, they said, the only way we're going to pay you guys is if you buy Bitcoin. Oh, yeah. And I thought, all right, this is my chance. I finally have somebody that can tell me how to do this and everything. So I bought my first Bitcoin at that time. Wow. Oh, what an awesome story. That's great. That was 2015. Oh, that's pretty early by by most accounts. Our seasoned or OGs, as some of the young people call them, usually get in about between 2014 to 2016 are like you've been in that long. Wow. It's very cool. That's beautiful. So you said you got this newsletter and it was talking about Bitcoin and you read about it. So what attracted you to Bitcoin? Like what kind of sparked that? You know what? I'm liking what I'm reading. What was a couple of those first real big, I guess, aha moments during your initial kind of research or interest with Bitcoin? Yeah, I don't know. I think just because it was something different. I'm one of these that I like to go out on the limb and try something new. Perfect. And I didn't really think about what was attracting me other than it had anything to do with stocks or anything like that. It was something totally outside of that kind of box. And it just felt like it was something I could do to help us with our financial situation. Exactly. Because at that time we'd already gone through tax audit and and a bankruptcy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I've done that. The last one, I've done the bankruptcy. It wasn't exactly fun.
Right.
It did help though. And it honestly it did change my perspective on just debt all the way around. Like I already kind of knew what I needed to do. I just didn't know how to do it. But going through that process really showed me things that, some of my hunches that I had. I was like, yep, I knew that. I could feel it in my gut. And so that was some of the benefits of going through that. So
Right.
well,
It teaches you a lot.
it does. It does. And it's a very expensive lesson. So you better learn something from it.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
was a very fearful lesson. It taught me a lot about fear and how
Yes.
to overcome it.
Yes. Yes. I would agree. I would agree with you 100% on that. Because after, well, not only after, but during that process, I went back to cash. If I didn't have it in my wallet, then I didn't have it and I couldn't get it.
Exactly.
And so and I'm still that way today to a certain degree.
Right. It's really hard to do credit now.
It is because I don't like paying people back that I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't mind paying my neighbors back, my family back. I don't mind any of that. But sometimes it's hard to even get to the ones that you care about and love to repay them. And it's like I just nope. If I have to suffer in silence, I'll suffer in silence. That's okay.
Yep.
Exactly. So now I know I did during my research with Bitcoin, I had concerns and some skepticism because the person that told me about Bitcoin was my younger brother in 2009.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'll have to share that story with you a little later in another episode or something that we do. I'll remind me and I'll share that with you. But I did have some concerns and I was skeptic of it. Were you as well during your research? No, man, I
didn't even think anything of it. And when the only thing was when they told us that we had to have Bitcoin in order to get paid because they were going to pay us in Bitcoin.
Right.
When I went to Coinbase, which was, I think, fairly new at that time.
Yeah.
I had been reading about Coinbase before that, but I just hadn't gone there and opened an account or anything because I didn't know that much.
Right.
But I went to Coinbase and I looked at the price, and this was December 1st of 2015. When I went and looked at the price of that Bitcoin, it was $377. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money.
I know, right? If only we had those prices today.
Yeah, right. And I sat there for a long time trying to figure out, because they said, oh, you only need $10 worth. Just have enough Bitcoin that we can pay you in it. And, that $377, it was a tremendous amount.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yet I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yep. See, there you go.
And so I bought a whole Bitcoin, and it's just been history ever since.
See, that's great. You got to experience the, it increasing in dollar value, which, to be quite honest, that's what attracted me. That I think that's initially what attracted most of us to that is, wow, I can invest in something, and wow, it's really moving in both directions. I mean, riding that price up is great, and then when it drops, you're like, I didn't know it could do that.
And the other thing was you didn't have to have a middleman. You didn't have to go through anybody.
It's no different. I mean, no different than I adequate it to, if you want a silver coin, you go to the silver coin store, you buy it, you take it home with you. That's it. End of story. You're in charge. And I love that about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well. I think that's one of the biggest benefits. It puts the power, gives the power back to us, the people.
Right.
They're supposed to be
Exactly.
benefiting, no middleman. I like that. No middleman.
Yeah. We need to get rid of them as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, some middlemen are probably okay, but there's some other ones that are like, yeah, you're really taking advantage of the situation here. So you should just really stop. Yeah, those middlemen definitely need to go. So it sounds like you didn't really have any challenges or insecurities with buying the Bitcoin, getting the Bitcoin, or anything like that, other than the private keys, right? That was probably a little overwhelming, I imagine.
I didn't know about those
Mm-hmm.
when I started,
Mm-hmm.
other than those big long
Right.
things that they were
Right.
telling us about in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys helped quite a bit. But I also had signed up for some other programs to learn more about Bitcoin, how to get going. And then I happened to go online and on the YouTube, and I found a bunch of videos, and I picked up some guys that I enjoyed watching, and like JSNIP4, he was very helpful in he set up videos that explained exactly how to do stuff.
Yep.
And then Big Swear. And I believe that was when they started telling us about not your keys, not your coins.
Yep, I remember that. Yep.
So then I learned about how to move my coins off of the exchanges, because by that time I bought several, and how to get them into a wallet and have them under my own protection. And then Bitcoin Ben came along. And so those were my three main guys that I followed, but they helped to educate me on how to do things, what to look for, and different things like that. So.
Yep, I watched all three of those, including Cliff High as well.
Yeah.
yeah. That was it's kind of funny how they all came together.
Yeah, yeah. The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, the Three Musketeers. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, it was nice to have that, because when I finally jumped in, it was 2017. And it was just literally days after I got in, I came across JSNIP4, Big Swear, kind of separately though. I didn't know that eventually that they were talking with each other and all that. And but yeah, that's where my education come from. And that was my daily education, what to do today, so I still go out on YouTube to find out, what's the next steps that we should be taking? What are things that we need to re-go over, refresh our minds, with wallets, because wallets can change. Processes in the crypto space of how to get them can change. New technologies are developed, so we're always learning. We're always learning.
It changed this whole what do I want to call it? Space changes so fast. I mean, does. Every second it's changing. So trying to keep up with it. And that's why I decided to go with Bitcoin Starter Pack. It's my business, because I don't care to get into the technology stuff. I just want to help people get started and to get their coins in a safe place. And I let you guys that know more about technology do that. So.
Would you mind telling the audience a little bit more about what you do for your clients at Bitcoin Starter Pack?
Sure. with Bitcoin Starter Pack, I work with my clients, and most of them are baby boomers.
Okay, cool.
So probably 90 to 95% are baby boomers or a little older. And so they're all of retirement age. So I help them to profitably and comfortably show them how to harvest their crypto profits for the next generations to come.
Perfect.
So I answer their questions, and then I give them some homework, and I say, okay, we need to download this wallet. You need to go to Coinbase, set up an account, set up accounts at other exchanges, and preferably if they have a lot of money that they want to put into cryptocurrency,
Mhm.
then I give them some of the over-the-counter
Right.
sites to go to so that they can have that benefit
Yep.
to make it easier for them and not to have to worry about their coins.
Right. Exactly. No middleman. Sometimes,
Right.
I've experienced over the counter myself, and I have found it probably one of the easiest and less stress ways to acquire my
Right.
cryptocurrencies, and that was worth the money.
Yep.
That I paid. I was like, oh, this is so much easier. I don't have to sit there and look at a screen. I mean, I do. They still do, the standard protocol, send a little bit first, a test, verify wallet, boom, okay, send the rest, and then I got it. But other than that, yes, it makes it nice. It makes it so
It
nice.
is. But
So
we need to start out with the small amounts to
yes,
learn how to do it ourselves.
yes, and you know what? And I'll tell you what. First time I did my big amount, I was glued to that screen, watching and looking at. I was very very focused on the transaction that was taking place. But
Exactly.
after I did that a couple of times, I felt fine. I really did. My nerves were down and all that. So since you 95% of your clientele seems to be the baby boomers, I'm curious to know, what are some of their initial just overall concerns with cryptos? I mean, do they have any? Maybe, I mean, like, are some on the fence where they're like, they don't know if they want to, they're ready to, but they're not? Like, what are some of their, I guess, concerns or skepticisms?
I guess really I haven't had too many concerns.
Hmm.
Most, well, probably all of them
Hmm.
that contact me, they're ready. They're they've
Okay.
heard enough people talk about them,
Hmm.
and they understand where the financial system is right now, what's going on with that. And so
Hmm.
they just want to put their money into some place that is safe, and they think that cryptos is better than the bank or the stock market, wherever it is that they have their money in. So there's been a few questions, especially when I answer the phone for Bitcoin branches US. It's not so much anymore, but in the beginning there was some guys that would call, and they were connected to the big stock firms,
Hmm.
and what are some of Fidelity and
Hmm.
some of
Yep.
those, and they had heard about Bitcoin. They asked their stockbroker about it, and of course at that time they were poo-pooing it.
Right. Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, don't get that. Oh no, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. You don't want that.
right,
Mhm.
and so they were asking, well, why would I want to buy a Bitcoin when I can buy it from this guy? And so I'd have to explain, well, when you buy your gold, do you want it on paper or do you want the real thing?
Right.
And with paper, are you sure that you are the owner? Or is there like 250 other owners of that same piece of gold or that Bitcoin, whatever? So there is a lot of education that goes on with some of this, but the majority of the people have been, we want to get in, we can't get in fast enough.
Right.
And let's just do it. And so they have their questions and we go from there.
Perfect. So it sounds like the real big concern is they see the current financial system, the stock market, etc. And they are seeing the walls starting to come down, so to speak, right? They can see it, right?
Yes.
So they're like, nope, we need to take our money and put it into another asset that is going to grow.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
That's been pretty much all of what I've been hearing.
And see, so for me, that makes more sense of why in July, when I came into a room down in Texas, Bernie, Texas, and I was kind of one of the younger individuals, so to speak, why there were so many other individuals in there that were above my generation as far as age. It makes more sense because, well, y'all have had a lot more time to earn a lot more money, so you guys have experienced a lot of downfalls over the decades, just not just the 2008. I know that there was the 80s. I think the 80s there was an issue. I mean, I was alive, but I don't remember. I know the 80s there was a thing. I know in the 70s there was the gas shortages and things like that. Vietnam was still kind of a ghost. It was still kind of roughly talked about, but at least the effects of that were still very present in the late 70s. The fallout from all that. So
and we were also raised by parents that went through the 30s.
Exactly. And that's what
so I know with my parents, they never focused on that. But the one thing I always heard my mom say was, we never buy anything unless we have the cash for it.
Yep.
And so when we went through that bankruptcy, that kept coming back.
Mama was talking to you. Too funny. It's funny how the lessons of old pop up in some of our most fearful moments, and we go, oh yeah, darn it, I should have done that.
And in the 70s, we got married in 69, but in the 70s was, at least this is what I remember, is when all the credit started coming in.
Right.
And so you thought that was the end thing. And that was where it got all of us caught up. Yep.
That was the trap. That was definitely the trap. I remember my mom talking about that, about when she remembers when credit cards first came out and the store had to charge more to their customer for the product if they were going to use the credit card and all that. And and I remember my grandmother sharing just a little bit about those times in the 30s and World War II and all that, where she slept on a dirt floor.
Wow.
And when I didn't really grasp that, but this is when she was a baby, like not like a baby, but we're talking toddlerish, not quite 7 years old yet and all that. But yeah, I do remember that. So again, there's just been outcome after outcome after outcome. So to me, it's no surprise that y'all are in the room.
So now we're all ready to get free of all that.
Yep. And that's good.
And this is our possibility of doing that.
Yes, it is. So would it be fair to say that what attracted you to about Bitcoin is one, its growth, two, the security, I'd say the financial security that it potentially has to offer everyone? And are there any other benefits that you personally see Bitcoin as being beneficial to yourself and others?
Yeah, the benefits, wow, they have been awesome. I found that with Bitcoin, I was able to do different things with. So I was able to, like one of them I remember was I wanted to buy something from this guy in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And this was 2 or 3 years ago. And the first purchase I made, I sent him a check
Okay.
for the amount. Well, when he went to the bank in Canada to exchange the US dollars for Canadian dollars,
Mm-hmm.
it cost him a small fortune to do that. So
Oh,
that bit
really?
into his income.
Mm-hmm.
And so he turned around and he asked me, would you mind doing this next purchase with Bitcoin? And I said, oh, no, because I had no idea it was going to go to
Right. You're like, yeah, sure.
60,000.
Right. Well, how are you supposed to know? Right. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't know that.
I never gave that a thought, even though it
Right.
was probably, around 7,000 or so at that time. And so, so I said, well, yeah, I can do that. So I did that. And the thing was with Bitcoin, it just took, let's say, a few hours,
Okay. Right.
because my second time doing it, Bitcoin is slower than most of the coins.
Right.
So it took about 12 hours for that thing to go through. Talk about nerves.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're glued to the screen. Just
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I get
Checking
that.
that computer all the
Yep.
time.
Yep.
So, but if you stop to think about how long does it take a check to go to Canada, or even just down the street, you take it to the post office and it takes 2 or 3 days for them to
Right.
get it. So that
Mhm.
12 hours was a short amount of time,
Right.
and it went right into their wallet, went
Right.
from my wallet directly into their wallet. Well,
Mhm.
now, things have sped up. And so it, sometimes you can do it in a matter of minutes or even
Minutes.
seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And so that shows how fast things have changed. But it's just been seeing how we can do this without the bank, if it's
Mm-hmm.
all possible. The other thing is that I have been able to help people learn by having Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
because it's been something that I've always enjoyed helping people,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing I did before ever worked. And this is
Right.
my way of being able to help people get their financial security back. And the last thing that's been a big benefit to us is we was able to buy our Jeep with Bitcoin.
Perfect.
And so that was really neat. I might mention that now they have these places where you can go and use your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency for collateral.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did that, but remember our conversation a little earlier, it made me so nervous trying to make those payments every month,
Right.
that finally I said, enough's enough. And I just went and finished paying it off in a few months. And it's been so nice. But that Jeep has been so much fun to drive and everything.
I bet.
And it was in my name.
Yeah, it's all yours. See, and that's what's awesome. You did that all yourself. All of it, every step of the way. You mentioned the some of these exchanges will offer you a loan up to X amount of percent of your currency that you put in there, or cryptocurrency. In your case, it was Bitcoin, and and if you have to, if you're in a pinch, if you need something, the Jeep in your instance, you're able to do that. You don't have to do a credit check. There's no
Right.
credit check. There's none of that. You put your Bitcoin in there, they give you 50%, boom, you're on your way and in your day. And yep, you do have the payment, but in essence, your payment is so that you can get your Bitcoin back. And now you got
Right.
and if you're able to do that, you got your Bitcoin and you got your Jeep, and life is good.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. But I get the payment thing. It's just like, no, I've been here before. No, just yeah, pay it off, give it back. Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get
There's
that.
that credit thing again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it can be like you said, a little scary, but I do see some benefits there because I always say this, and I'm a big believer in it because of some of my personal life experiences I've had, and cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, specifically in some instances, has saved my butt a number of times, and has saved my family's butt a number of times. So for me, cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are a hedge against life. So I definitely encourage people to get involved, get into this. You'll see it, even if they just see the dollar value increase. I don't care. That's great. Good. You can see the benefit now, a benefit. There's a lot more, but you're not ready for that yet. So just
Right.
keep watching the
And
price go up.
it's fun to watch it grow.
It is. It's exciting. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you think about your Bitcoin that you spend at $7,000 and it's $60,000. You're like, oh my gosh, that was a really expensive transaction now.
But look at how much that Jeep actually cost me.
Right. Because when you bought the Bitcoin, it was a lot less than the price is now. Right. So maybe that
Right.
only cost you, $3,000, and you got a brand new Jeep for, that maybe was 30 or 60 or whatever Jeeps are these days. Oh my gosh.
Right.
What, way out of my price range.
For now.
Yeah, for now. For now, that's good. Well, Renita, is there anything else that you would like to share with the rest of the world, or any advice that you have for anybody that's kind of on the fence with cryptocurrencies?
If you're on the fence, wow, just start doing your research, start talking to people. I'm really surprised that this past week I've been finding out about all the people around here that are, and yeah, they're younger kids, but some of them are my age, that are already have cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin or something else. And so talk to your friends. Yeah, most of them will probably poo-poo you or anything, but do your research. Contact Simon, contact myself, and we'll be glad to help you out with anything that that you question, or if you just need the helping hand. And that's what we're here for, is to be that helping hand to help people get started in this, because this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is our future. This is where it's going. And we're going to either you move with it or you get left behind.
That's right. Right. And I'm sure I know I've had a lot of experiences being left behind, and I refuse to let this one pass me up personally. So yeah. You don't want that feeling. You don't want that feeling. All right, Renita. Well, hey, thank you so much for stopping by today. It's been an honor and a privilege, to say the least, to have you on this show.
Thank you. And they can go to Bitcoin Starter Pack, and pack is spelled PAK.com, and connect with me there.
Perfect. I was just about to ask you about all that good stuff. Hey, so let's say it one more time for everybody else that wasn't paying attention to this video just then. Where can they find you?
Okay. Bitcoin Starter Pack, and pack is spelled PAK.com. And you can connect with me there, or you can also click on any of the buttons there and it'll take you to my calendar and set up a session with me.
Perfect. Now, I know that this is kind of a trend within the cryptocurrency consulting space. Is there an initial free consultation or anything like that where you're able just to kind of gauge what the client may need or anything like that? I know sometimes that happens.
Yeah, I don't have a free one.
Okay.
Usually what happens with me is, a 10-15 minute session always goes into an hour or so.
Right. I get you. Perfect. Perfect.
So I do have a half-hour one where they can get started.
Perfect.
And that's when I answer all their questions and give them the homework to do.
Perfect. Well, if you guys want some cryptocurrency, it sounds like you're going to have to do a little homework with Renita there by all means. But please check her out at Bitcoin Starter Pack. That's PAK.com. And I'm sure you can reach out to her there. So that's awesome. Anything else you'd like to say to the audience today?
No, just don't be afraid to get started. We're here to help you.
Perfect. All right, Renita. All right, everybody. That's all I got for you crazy kids out there in crypto land. Once again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. Go ahead and reach out to Renita. And also, it's your world, so rock it. Thanks for stopping by today, everybody. Take care.